Hello, good afternoon, children. After the second chapter from First Flight English First, I am going to start one poem, A Tiger in the Zoo. Before we learn about this poem, I would like to introduce the poet George Leslie. This poem, A Tiger in the Zoo, was written by Leslie Norris. George Leslie Norris, his full name. He was born on 21 May 1921. Leslie grew up in Wales during the Great Depression. His profession was writing. He wrote Finding Gold and Ransoms. He was a prize-winning Welsh poet. This poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from the zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. Read the poem silently once and say which stanzas speak about the tiger in the zoo and which ones speak about the tiger in the jungle. There are two types of tigers. One who lives in the cage in the zoo and one who lives freely in the jungle in its natural habitat. The central idea of the poem is, in the poem A Tiger in the Zoo, the poet describes the mental state of the tiger in the cage. There is a comparison between the life of a tiger in a wild state, in a natural habitat, and in a cage. This is the comparison, and we can say contrast between the tiger who lives in the natural habitat and the tiger who lives in the imprisonment of the zoo, or he lives in a cage. The poet gives a strong message that the wild animals should remain in their natural habitat and not in the cages. Freedom shouldn't be snatched from the wild animals. We can say there are many acts and rules about the preservation of the wildlife in our country, and government is working to protect the wild animals, and hunting is totally prohibited as per rule of the government. Especially tigers and lions, they are put in the category of endangered animals. So we have to learn about the tigers who are imprisoned in cages and the tigers who are wandering freely in their natural habitat or jungles. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. He refers to the tiger who is in his cage, who is caught, who is captivated in the cages. He walks with pride in his cage, for few steps of his cage. The cage is measured with the few steps only. There is the space, there is the room of some steps for the wandering of the tiger who is in the cage. On pads. Pads means like soft mattress under his feet. That is pads. They are very soft and it walks on these pads of velvet quite. Velvet is a soft cloth. That is, we can say makhmal. In his quite rage means anger. He is angry in the cage because he is imprisoned. His freedom is snatched. So he is angry and he walks in his pride with anger. He should be lurking in shadow. Lurking means here staying, hiding. The poet is saying, the poet here advises that he should be kept free in his natural habitat in the jungles, and he should be staying, hiding in the shadow of grass, sliding through long grass, and he should walk through long grass. He should not walk in the cage, but he should walk in the jungles, in the long grass, as it is natural for him. Near the water hole, near water bodies, lakes or streams, where plump deer pass. These are the places near which many deer pass, and he sits there. He is hiding there to hunt them for his victim. He is hiding. उसे लंबी घासों के बीच में होना चाहिए, उसको घात लगा के वहाँ पर बैठे रहना चाहिए उन डियर के लिए जो उसका भोजन है. In the cage there is not fresh food. There is no chance of hunting. By hunting, this gets food for himself. The tiger kills deer and then he enjoys eating, but this enjoyment is snatched by keeping him in the cage. In the cage he is like a slave. He is given whatever food he has to eat. He should be snarling around houses. This is the second advice by the poet. He should be snarling. Snarling here means growling around houses. He should be roaming and snarling near the houses in the village, at the jungle's edge, in the atmosphere of jungle. He should be walking, growling near the houses in the village. Which houses? In which the men and women live, in which the people live. They should be afraid of the tigers. This is the natural scene for a tiger, in which he is happy, bearing his white fangs, his claws showing. He should be walking, he should be wandering, growling by showing his fangs. Fangs here means teeth, and claws terrorizing the villages. He should terrorize whole the village. Whole the village should be afraid of the tigers. In this state, he must be kept because this is natural right for the wild animals. But he is locked. But alas, it is matter of regret that he is locked in a concrete cell. Concrete cell means the house made of stone. His strength behind bars. In spite of his strength, he is imprisoned. In spite of his strength, he is imprisoned. He is known to be the king of wild animals, but he is imprisoned. There is no cure for him to show his majesty. यानी उसे पिंजरे में बंद कर लिया गया है. वो इतना पावरफुल, इतना स्ट्रेंथेंड एनिमल जिससे पूरा जंगल कांपता है. नॉट ओनली द जंगल्स बट द विलेजेस जो है कांपते हैं. हर इंसान के अंदर, हर प्राणी के अंदर एक भय उत्पन्न हो जाता है टाइगर का नाम लेते ही. लेकिन अब उसकी क्या स्थिति हो गई है केज के अंदर, वो बड़ी पैथेटिक है. दैट इज वेरी पैथेटिक कंडीशन फॉर हिम. Stalking the length of his cage. Stalking means walking. Only in the limited length of the cage he has to walk. He cannot go anywhere according to his will. वो अपनी इच्छा अनुसार कहीं नहीं जा सकता सिवाय उस पिंजरे के अंदर कैद रहने के. वो उतने ही स्टेप्स चल सकता है जितने स्टेप्स उसके केज में उसको मिले हैं चलने के लिए. इग्नोरिंग विजिटर्स. नाउ वी कैन से अकॉर्डिंग टू द पोएट he is ignoring the visitors. He is very angry to the visitors. He is very angry to the people. He knows, as if he knows that these are the people who have imprisoned him in the cage. इस तरह से वो विजिटर्स पे गुस्सा है. He is not very hopeful towards them. He becomes very hopeless to them. अब उसको उनसे कोई आशा नहीं है. That's why he ignores him in anger. He hears the last voice at night. He hears the last voice at night. Last voice. Which voice? Last voice of village people. Last voice of the vehicles passing through that jungle. वो आखिरी आवाज़ नाइट में वो सुनता है. किसकी? द पेट्रोलिंग कार्स. आने जाने वाली कारों की आवाज़ें वो सुनता है वहाँ से. बट ऑल दीज आर यूजलेस टू हिम एंड स्टेयर्स विद हिज ब्रिलियंट आईज. And he gazes with his brilliant eyes. Who here? Here is the tiger who is imprisoned in the cage. This is his condition. Only is to stare from the cage, to stare the stars which are shining in the sky with his brilliant eyes. All hopes have gone. He is disappointed. He is indifferent in the cage. Why? क्योंकि उसकी सारी आशाएं धूमिल हो गई और अब वो उसके लिए कोई होप नहीं बची. उस नेचुरल हैबिटेट को पाने की, उस फ्रीडम को पाने की जो दूसरे टाइगर्स को अभी भी मिली हुई है। इसलिए वो बस अब अपने केज के अंदर बैठे हुए ही उनको निहारता है, उन स्टार्स को, उन रात के उस मंजर को, उस दृश्य को, बस होपलेसली, बट ऑल इन वेन, सब कुछ व्यर्थ है उसके लिए। ये एक निराश टाइगर यानी कि डिसअपॉइंटेड होपलेस टाइगर की व्यथा है। ही इज इन अ पैथेटिक कंडीशन बिकॉज ऑफ लिविंग इन द केज। ऑल हिज राइट्स आर प्रोहिबिटेड, ऑल हिज राइट्स आर लिमिटेड in the cage. He is in the hands of the masters. वो अब अपने मालिकों के अंडर में है और वो अब अपनी मर्जी से कुछ नहीं कर सकता। इस तरह से ये एक टाइगर के ऊपर, उसकी फ्रीडम के ऊपर पूरा अटैक है। ये इस पोएम के अंदर पोएट ने अपनी इमोशंस एंड फीलिंग्स उन टाइगर्स और उन एनिमल्स के प्रति बताई है जो कि लोगों के द्वारा उनको कैद कर लिया जाता है और उन्हें कैसे उनकी इच्छाओं को मार दिया जाता है और उनकी फ्रीडम को ख़त्म कर दिया जाता है। इन दिस वे द पोएट्स क्या कहते हैं, पोएट की बड़ी कुंठा और उसका बड़ा पैशन दिस पोएम रिवील्स इन दिस पोएम। उसका पैशन, उसका जो है बड़ी टाइगर्स के प्रति सिंपैथी और सहानुभूति, नॉट ओनली फॉर टाइगर्स, फॉर अदर एनिमल्स ऑल्सो, ये इस पोएम के अंदर साफ झलक दिखाई देती है। उसका दर्द, पोएट का दर्द साफ झलकता है और हम कह सकते हैं कि पोएट भी एनिमल्स को फ्रीडम देना चाहता है और वो फ्री रखना चाहता है। ही इज़ द क्या कहते हैं, वो समर्थक है। ही इज़ द सपोर्टर ऑफ द एनिमल्स एंड देयर फ्रीडम। सो दिस पोएम आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड। आई थिंक, आई बिलीव दैट यू वुड हैव अंडरस्टूड दिस पोएम very well, and we will talk about the poetic devices used in this poem. First, alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sounds like stalks, strips. He stalks in his vivid strips, stalks and strips. S and S. This is consonant sound. There is one pair, stalks and strips, the pair of words. One more, locked concrete. Here the sound of C in locked, here you can see the sound of C, concrete, locked concrete. Stocking, cage, S in stocking, C in cage. Both the sounds are repeating sounds are there. Second device is rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme is taken by the poet in first, second and fifth stanzas according to the measurement A, B, C, B. A, stripes A, quite B, because the sound of strips and quite are different. The sound of strips and quite is different. That's why A and B, the different scheme is here, different rhyme. But the sound of cage and rage are same. Cage is rhyming rage, so B and B, same symbols are given to these two words, cage and rage, because the sound is same, but the different symbol A and B are given to these two words because sound are not same. Strips and quiet, totally different. Like shadow, hole, these are not matching. The sound of these two words is not matching, but the sound of these two words, grass and pass, are matching. In this way you can find out some more rhyme scheme, like in third stanza and fifth stanza, A B C D, you can observe and you can learn the sound scheme according to A B C D, according to A B C B. These are the poetic devices in this poem, alliteration and rhyme scheme. In this way I have finished this poem by explaining for you, and you can do the question answers of thinking about the poem. You can do, these are very simple and easy questions, you can do yourself. If any problem, I will clear. Okay, thank you and have a nice day. Wait for the next video. Stay at home and take care of yourself. Thank you once again.